What is going on, YouTube? Y'all squad. This your boy Yakrates, and this is your review for Real Housewife Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, Episode 3. This is my last dang review for the day. Woo! But again, y'all gonna get Escape SWV tomorrow. So we pick up where we left off. And with Leah saying that it was a snooze fest. And then Candace says, okay, well then ask a question. And Leah apologizes if what she said came off disrespectful. It did. It's one of those, like, I hate when people do that if. Like, now there's sometimes, like, if you really don't know, okay, I really didn't know, so if. But you can tell, yeah, that was disrespectful. Cool, whatever. And then Porsha says, y'all sorries come quick. Which she's right. I mean, hell, the sorries on Potomac come quick too. But, that's because Neck feels that, you have to apologize to her or her crew, but you ain't getting one from her, but they ain't nothing but business either. Marisol talks to the set doctor and lies about how much that she's drank that day. Now, she says that she drinks every day, but lied about how much she had that particular day. And he believes that she may have an ulcer, so he's gonna, figure out what she can best take for that. Let's see. And Candace, does a lip sync performance. She was up there looking like a loofah, looking like a Nimbus cloud. It was cute. It was cute. But, it is what it is. I mean, but, yeah. Would have been nice how she did it live. I mean, I have seen a couple of live performances of her actually doing drive by. And she sounded pretty good. But, hey, it is what it is. And I don't know. Maybe she didn't have enough time to practice. It is what it is. I mean, they got a little performance. Well, of course, Porsha and Giselle going to be shady about it. But that's all right. Now, dinner's over. They're in their vans. And, Giselle says to Porsha that Candace isn't really shady. She isn't an instigator, but she is a reactor. Facts. Now, they even show clips of Candace reacting to things that people have said to her or done to her. And the fact that we got that, now bump that, the fact that Giselle admits that, because again, Giselle does a lot of stuff for reality television. Like, let's be clear, she's there to help produce a show. But the fact that you know this, but when you get into scenes with her and you're going back and forth with her or somebody is, so you're aware of the fact in this particular setting to know that Candace is a reactionary person. But when you're in scenes with her on y'all's show, you just conveniently don't know that to be true. Got it. Got it. Let's see. Heather made sure that she got in the van with Candace, being a straight up groupie. Look, I done already told y'all how I feel about Heather in terms of, her being a pick me, her being, what did I say? She's a pick me, and some other stuff. I remember it later. But for those of y'all who don't know, my main reason for not liking her came at the end of season 2, because I liked her season 1. At the end of season 2, when a certain racist individual decided that she wanted to buck up on Mary. Now, again, Mary on Salt Lake City was no saint. But again, she didn't deserve all of what she got. And then you can clearly see, it's because it's the season finale, Mary's walking away and Heather is gesturing with her hands, pretty much telling this racist heifer to go over there and finish it with Mary. I did not like that. I did not, and that was nasty. So after that, I'm never going to see it for Heather, period. Let me be very clear. And I want y'all to understand, I mean that. Okay, I don't often say I don't like certain housewives or certain people on television, reality television. Oh yeah, after that, Heather made the list. Point blank and the period. But you want to sit here and fetishize over African American males, third members? Get the hell up out of here. And now you want to sit here and be anyway. Alexia is planning a yacht party. Cool. Alexia, Marisol, Porsha, and Giselle they're not feeling Leia based off of, I'm sorry, Leah. I don't know why I want to call Leia. Leah based off of the previous day. So on the yacht, so it's the date. Well, they're at the yacht. Pepsi rode with them, but he has to go back. So I guess he was just making sure that they got there and that everything was good for them. So he goes back. Porsha asked if Leah wanted to go back with him, and she says no. Now, this is one of those where, baby, let's start at the beginning. Like, what happened the night before happened the night before. The fact that now, and actually, Alexia made a slight joke right before that, but you clearly have Porsha directly saying to Leah, "Oh, do you want to go back?" So now this is when all the chaos begins at this moment. Let's not forget that. Leia says no. They sit down to eat. Giselle asks Leia if she's okay. And Leia wants to now address things. That was her opportunity to do so. I am going to say I don't know if Leia has it in her to do the sparring back and forth. Because I'll be honest, the only Leia that I'm used to is drunk Leia. And let me be clear, I'm glad we didn't get. Selfishly, I wanted there to be drunk Leia, but I'm happy we didn't get that because she can be a bit volatile, and we did not need that. But I don't think she really had it in her. Because I'll talk about it in a second, but it got to a moment where it seemed like, okay, I'm not winning. I'm bringing more people into this argument than I need to, and now is let me retreat. But she wants to address it and says that she felt that, with both actually, Porsha and Giselle, that them asking her if she wanted to be there was real messed up, given the fact that she had already shared. And one of the lunches that they had, that she was contemplating not even coming, just based on how bad her last season on New York was. So for them to take that she said that, and now you're using it against her, is messed up. Now I don't know if that's what they actually were trying to do, and yeah, look, y'all know it's a lot for me to sit here and give Porsha and Giselle the benefit of the doubt, but I can see how she can draw that correlation. So Porsha jumps in and says that, well, she said what she said mostly because of her attitude at dinner the night before. Giselle brings up Leah being bored and wanting them to get drunk for their amusement. Now, again, y'all know I don't be trying to. I really hate to agree with Cankles. I really do. But I actually said that in the last review where that seemed a little bit off, that this is what you wanted, but when it was said pretty much in your direction, you wasn't really feeling it. So then Leia says, yes, because that is what is expected of me. And then she brings in Marisol. And I can understand trying to draw correlation, but where some people mess up at is, if you know you can't handle more than one person coming at you at a time, you probably shouldn't bring nobody else in. Right? Because she should have just stayed talking with Giselle, but roped in, Porsha, and now she done roped in Marisol. So the text message read, I'm saying that I support your sobriety, obviously, and I could never do what you do because I don't have the willpower. And I marvel at what you've done, but on that note, I wish you were still drinking. That's all. Now, based off of that, it didn't seem like that was coming from a nasty place. So that's just how, was Leia interpreted it. But again, based on how that was read, this right here to me is, it really felt like Leah was grasping at straws and needed something to kind of give her a little bit of oomph in the conversation. I I really don't think that was the right thing to do, because it wasn't even Marisol saying like, "Yeah, I need you to drink." It's, I respect what you're doing. I just wish you were drinking. That's just like if somebody's pregnant and they can't drink, and somebody be like, "Man, I get it, you got that baby, but ooh, I wish you would be drinking right now." But that's okay, like nothing too crazy, nothing too negative. So now, after that being said, well, Alexia chimes in and saying, "Okay, this is the real world. People, will say stuff like that as a joke." And that really wasn't what happened. But now at this point, Leia is no low key playing the victim and says, "Okay, now everyone hates me." Now, see, stuff like that now I don't like. Reason being is, technically, Porsha popped this off. But all they had to do was when Giselle came at her, just been like, you know what? Yes, I'm fine. I can talk to you about this later. And left it at that. But you decided to indulge, and this is where we're at. Candace jumps in to defend Leia because, um, she just feels like everybody's doing too much, and all she's doing is trying to express herself. Candace even shares that, she's been out of place, suffering major anxiety. She feels alone, doesn't know anybody, and she ain't wrestling with Giselle. And even said yesterday was her first time actually, um, feeling like she didn't want to go home. And then says, I've held it in, but it's not fair for someone like Leia who shares her experience to be bullied. Porsha goes over to hug her, but then says, you have anxiety about being here, but your event was the shadiest. And I'm like, Porsha, I get that you had to get it out, but that's not comforting somebody. I'm like, golly. And Candace says that she was having fun shade. And Porsha asks her, is that how you get comfortable by making others uncomfortable? Now, Candace, if somebody is coming at you, well, actually, before I say that, she asked both Giselle and Porsha if they felt uncomfortable, and they both said yes. So at that point, even if it was a little fun shade or whatever, then the whole thing is you have to eat that. But at the same exact time, Porsha's full of it, because how many times Porsha has said, oh, I was on Atlanta, this is Lil Shay, I was in the big leagues and all this other stuff. So did you really feel uncomfortable, or are you just looking to have a reason to go against her? Like, again, let's keep it a buck, okay? So Candace and Porsha go back and forth. I was not writing notes on all that. That was too much. And Heather says, to Leia that, well, I funnel, drinks to my friends who are, alcoholics, because they asked me to. You're not helping yourself, Heather. And again, I said I don't like Heather, but again, you're not helping yourself. And honestly, I don't even think she should have came on this damn trip. So they go for a snack. They play a game where, they all have fans with Cuban slang, and Alexia and Marisol explain what it is. Cute. Here for it. And then Giselle brings up the cousins, I believe Whitney, being in a drunken state and saying that they would never bring up their issues on camera again. And this is one of those where, again, if y'all watch Potomac, Giselle is notorious for taking something and making it bigger than what it was, or just blatantly lying. Same thing happened this past season on Potomac when Ashley said, yeah, Chris, got close to my friend, and that's what she told me. Then she goes into the van, and thank you to the subscriber that told me, because, again, I don't know how I missed that and me taking my notes, but went into the van and said, yeah, because Ashley said that, Chris grabbed her friend on the butt. That's sexual assault. So, again, had nothing to do with it, but so this is what she does, and sometimes I don't think that she's aware that adding quote-unquote extra sauce on the stuff can land your ass in the courtroom, because that's foul. But let's see. Oh, and then Leia chimes in and says, but Whitney, you talked about Heather saying that she's still a Mormon on paper, but here you are writing a book and that you don't trust her. Now, Leia, though I was here for it, why you start stuff, Leia? Because I'm really looking at Leia like, Leia, you just came out of some high stuff. You go start stuff. I was here for it, though. And Heather is mad because, Whitney was just released 6 months ago. And in following the story, two separate times, but they both have put in to be removed from Mormonism. And again, because they're women, it's definitely much harder for them. So she had to go through an attorney and let the attorney handle it. And that was when she was finally able to be released. But Heather's whole thing is, you've gone through this process. You know what the process is. So for you to say anything like this, it's messed up, especially with me releasing this book. I am catching a whole lot of backlash and everything else. So even though I'm not officially removed from the church, it's not like they dealing with me ever again. But at the same exact time, Heather, principles. Okay, that's really all. And then she even said that for her to just remove her name like that, it will come off as aggressive. You a pick me, a try hard, and you a people pleaser. Like Heather, you need to go sit on somebody's couch and get your whole life together. Whitney shares her needing Heather at a certain point in their last season, and her not showing up like she did for Jen. Heather says she never lied for Jen, but then Whitney brings up the black eye. Heather says she doesn't remember, but snitches get stitches. So none of us know exactly what happened, but everybody's looking at Whitney crazy because it's just like, why would you volunteer this piece of information? So now people are really looking at you crazy, especially because of the simple fact that y'all are trying to build, but you dropped this. Now again, it's great television, but it got people looking at you like you crazy. And Giselle wants to see the picture of the black eye. And Heather says to Whitney, if you show it to them, you're disgusting and thirsty. Unfortunately, I agree. Marisol tells her to not show the picture if she is truly trying to repair things. Great advice, Marisol. Candace is saying to Heather, Leah, and Alexia that there's a lack of loyalty on Potomac, and then she says Giselle lives to lie on people, and then shares her story about pretty much what happened this past season with her lying on Chris. And that triggers Leia because Leia's whole thing is, so you sitting here getting mad, acting like me saying that I was bored at somebody's story is the worst thing you've ever heard, but then you over here, in essence, accuse somebody of sexual assault amongst other things. And then, now if y'all recall, when Giselle said last episode, because Alexia called her out, just like, so you would just ask a question because you don't want nobody inquiring about what you got going on. And she's like, well, you ask me the question and I'll answer it. So, right? Y'all remember that? Yeah. So, let me see. So Leah goes to Giselle and brings it up. Giselle doesn't want to discuss it because it would get messy. Really? And then it's playing the cement. Now, one thing is Leia did, add a whole lot to what Candace said. But I mean, everything that she pretty much surmised is exactly what happened. In essence, you did accuse Chris of sexual assault because saying that he grabbed the Cookie Monster's behind and without her consent, that is sexual assault. No matter how you like. Y'all know I can't stand her. And at one point, I forgot to say, Leah called her neck in her confessionals. I sniggered a little bit. I'm like, okay, all right. And at the end of the night, you have Heather in her bed reading Porsha's book. Again, a pick me, a try hard, and a people pleaser. And then you have Candace telling Leia that, you shouldn't take what Giselle says to heart, but you should check her. I don't think that is the right wording to you, even though I agree. But it's one of those where if somebody does come at you crazy, you need to address it sooner rather than later, because if not, that does kind of give that person this false sense of, I can continue to come at you in the manner in which that I'm coming at you. Now we don't get we don't get a next time. Oh, we ain't get that. So we just gotta wait. I believe it's every Thursday. Yep, I'm looking at my screen right now. Every Thursday. So I will try to be on time with this. And I will do my best to get y'all all of my other reviews that I'm lacking on, except for my Amma. Baby, y'all just gonna get that when y'all get it. If y'all get it. But that's all that I have. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all tomorrow for SWV and Escape. So have a blessed Sunday night, and I hope everyone has a prosperous week. Peace out.